Manchester United close to a double signing of Harry Maguire and Bruno Fernandes? And will it happen? When will it happen? And how will it happen with us only 2 days away now from flying out to Australia? Big times for Manchester United. Big days as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looks to close and also implement the strategy that we're going to see as to how Manchester United actually are going to line up next season. Also going to bring into this show a very significant quote from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in April of last year that a lot of people have forgotten about. Some people are talking about. We're going to go through that quote and we're going to expose something that clearly isn't happening at United that Solskjaer wants to happen. But let's start off with Bruno Fernandes and Harry Maguire. Sorry I'm a little bit late. There's a reason for it. I'll speak to you in a bit about that. But let's get straight into this show. Did the video this afternoon about Harry Maguire. Not going to go massively into that. If you watched it, great. If you didn't watch it, maybe go and watch it because I think Harry Maguire is going to sign for Manchester United, and I've certainly been told that. That video is on the homepage for you. But Bruno Fernandes, we haven't spoken about him. Well, we spoke about him this morning, but again, as per usual, another day passes. You get another load of information coming in about Bruno Fernandes. Some pretty significant information. Unrelated topic. Could you play Grand Theft Auto on That's Football, says King Condry. No. Unfortunately, it's a football channel. But no. But let me talk to you about Bruno Fernandes. Weird. So basically, this is a culmination of a tour de force, as you would say, of all the Portuguese outlets, because they've all spoken about him today. Record, Ebola, Ojogo, another one. So we're going to talk about that. But basically, interesting things that you need to know about Bruno Fernandes from what they're saying. And that is that he's back in training with Sporting Lisbon today. And Sporting Lisbon are going on their pre-season tour to Switzerland on Sunday. Now, I think once players start going on tours, it becomes a little bit harder to sign them. Not impossible, but it gives United that little bit of a window. His agent, who was meant to be flying in yesterday, apparently flew in today to sort out a deal with potentially Manchester United or Spurs, have been mentioned again. Bruno Fernandes is apparently blown away by the financial package that Manchester United are going to offer him and wants to come to Manchester United. That's another outlet saying that. And another outlet is saying that Liverpool are not out of the race yet and may put a bid in. But consensually, all the Portuguese outlets are saying that nobody's actually put a bid in for Bruno Fernandes yet. The stumbling block appears to be that Manchester United have offered Bruno Fernandes a very encouraging package financially that he wants to sign. However, there is an issue that Sporting Lisbon want 60 million euros and Manchester United don't want to go near that. Now that's again from another outlet. That to me is stunning. That is stunning because I'm bored of saying this. How is he not worth 60 million euros? 60 million euros is about 55 million pounds. And João Felix has just gone for 100 million. And Bruno Fernandes had a better season than him. So it makes absolutely no sense to me why Manchester United would do that. But it does, if that outlet is right, it does shed some light into why many of you lot and myself are thinking, why are Manchester United not getting this deal done? Why are we not getting Bruno Fernandes done as he appears there? £60 million is what I'd put the value of him, but apparently United don't want to pay that. There is something that I found out today, but I found that, if it's true, it adds even more, status, I suppose, to why Manchester United are negotiating and haven't put a bid in yet. Because remember with Bruno Fernandes, if somebody puts an offer in above 35 million euro, he gets, and Sporting Lisbon reject it, he gets 5 million euros back. So if they reject a bid over 35 million euros, Bruno Fernandes gets 5 million, which I always thought was weird, but it's widely been reported in the Portuguese press that that's what happens. However, today I've read from one of the Portuguese outlets that it's better than that. If Bruno Fernandes is denied a move because a team bids more than 35 million for him and Sporting Lisbon turn it down, he gets 5 million. He also gets a contract till 2024 where his wage doubles from 3 million to 6 million euros. And his agent gets a bit as well. So that, if that's true, that is a massive issue for Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon will not want to be paying Bruno Fernandes more wages. They won't want him on a long contract. They want to sell him. And I think what's happening here is Manchester United are playing hardball on the Bruno Fernandes deal. My prediction with the Bruno Fernandes deal, and I don't want to be proved wrong on this because I know Manchester United have scouted him for a long time. They've been in contact with him and his agent for a long time. And my feeling is that United have a deal with the agent and the player. That's in place. What they haven't got, clearly, is the deal with Sporting Lisbon. But I think there is enough there that Manchester United are playing very, very hard ball on this and are saying, look, we ain't paying you a massive amount over 35 million, because if you reject it, you're up shit creek without a paddle. So, and they are, you know, if United offer 40 million euros and Sporting Lisbon dare to turn it down, you've got to pay 5 million to Bruno Fernandes, you've got to increase his wages, and you've got to give him a 5-year contract. So it puts them in a difficult situation. So you can empathise with why Manchester United are probably not going in at his value, which I think is 60 million. The issue with that is, what about other clubs? What about if other clubs are in? Because it doesn't matter whether you are Liverpool or Tottenham. If Bruno Fernandes is available for about 45 million euro, you're going to do that deal because it's absolutely economically brilliant to do. Welcome to Christopher McCabe, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. We've had a significant super chat here coming in from Imrano TV. Not heard from you in a while. He says, somehow a 21-year-old right back that isn't a full international is worth 50 million. But an established 24-year-old midfielder who has contributed to over 40 goals this past season is not worth 55. I think that's a very good point, Imrano. And Greg Kempsell says, if we get Bruno and Harry, I'll feel a lot more confident, but still think we are weak at CDM and right midfield. If Rom goes there, we'll light up front too. I think you're spot on there, Greg. I do worry about that. I'll come back to that in a moment about the right wing position. But what Imrano TV there is saying is 100% right. With regards to Bruno Fernandes, how can he be worth less than Wan-Bissaka, who's not an international? He's only played for Crystal Palace and he's only 21. But you can say the same thing about De Ligt. De Ligt is going to go for less money than Harry Maguire. And that is because of the Premier League British tax. That's what we're paying for. So I think I saw something in the Manchester Evening News today as we come on to Harry Maguire, and 50% of the people who voted on the poll don't want Harry Maguire. It was basically, do you want Harry Maguire? Is he too expensive? Or do you not want him at all? 50% of the people who voted don't want him at all. I'd like to see some of the comments tonight as to why you don't want Harry Maguire. I'm firmly in the camp of bring him in. I know Draughty's the same. I know a few people are the same. I'm firmly in the camp of bring him in. He's for 75 million. I get it. I get why it is. It's an inflated British market. But Van Dijk went for 75 for around the same price, around the same age from a very similar club. And I think Van Dijk is better than Harry Maguire, but Harry Maguire is a good player, and I think he would bring a lot to Manchester United. But a lot of United fans don't want him. But it is, to answer what Imrano TV is saying there, it clearly is the tax, the Premier League tax. Mark, can you see us making a signing before Sunday, says Jake laughing. Oh, I really didn't want anyone to ask that question tonight. Well, look, I'll tell you what, we're a democracy on the United Stand. It's your channel, so let's answer Jake's question together. Do you think Manchester United are going to sign a player before they go on tour on Sunday? Come on, it's a yes or no. I can roughly tell what we're going to do. Michael Maystar says, if we want to be a club that doesn't get pushed around in the transfer window, this is how we need to act. And I agree with that. I just hope that by playing hardball with Sporting Lisbon, I mean, look, at the end of the day, if we get Bruno Fernandes for 50 million, we've stolen. We really have. But maybe Sporting Lisbon have put themselves in that situation because of these clauses in the contract. United would be stupid to go in for the value. They really would. So hopefully we'll get him for what he's worth. But there could be a bit of negotiating with that. I mean, yeah, definitely. Predicted lineup this season, says King Condry. Absolutely impossible. Absolutely impossible. All I would say is Wan-Bissaka will start, De Gea will start, Lindelof will start, Shaw will start, Pogba will start if he stays, Matic will start, Lingard will start, Martial will start, Rashford will start. At the moment. So, the vast majority of people are saying no, although Manchester United News says yes. I'm just picking out the yeses because so many people are saying no. We need 2. A lot of people are saying that. You're not getting a recap yet, Angel. We've only been going about 5 minutes. Most people saying no. What do I think? Will we make a signing before Sunday? No. Welcome Ramit Sandhu, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. No, I don't think we are going to make I don't think we're going to make a signing before Sunday because it's Friday, Saturday. And the one thing we've learnt with Manchester United is that we know a signing is going to happen way before it happens. United don't sign somebody out of the blue tomorrow and then have them on the plane by Sunday. We just don't do that. I'd love us to do it. I'd be absolutely ecstatic if we did it, but we're not going to do it. And I think that's because of the complexity of the deals that we're working on. I personally think that Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire, Sean Longstaff will be our last 3 bits of business of the transfer window. It's a personal feeling. I'm probably going to be totally wrong, but I think if we get those 3 deals done, that'll be it. Welcome, Alex Trube, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And Robert Moore says, I think we should have recruited a director of football to get these deals over the line quicker. Woodward is incompetent with anything transfer related. You're spot on with that, mate. And Christopher Battle, I like that name, Battle. Harry plus Bruno would be amazing signings, of course. But who, in your opinion, would be the cherry on the top of a successful window? For me, Jadon Sancho would have been the cherry on the top because he's the right winger. But I've got to be honest and say Bruno Fernandes in himself would be the cherry on the top. I don't think I'm settling here. I don't know how you lot feel, but I said this yesterday. If our transfer business is Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka, Sean Longstaff, Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire, of course it can be better. You know, you could get your right winger and a striker. It can be better, but it can be a lot worse than those 5. Daniel James, I like that signing. It's potential, it's a risk, but I like it. Wan-Bissaka's just a very good signing. Harry Maguire, I think, would be a very good signing. Bruno Fernandes will be a very good signing. Sean Longstaff is potential, but a risk. I like those 5. Would I like more? Yes, but I can settle with that. And Bruno Fernandes for me would be the significant signing. So if that's what's going to happen, great. What concerns me more is please subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. Bottom right hand corner, we're getting very, very close to 490, and then we're only 10,000 away from 500,000, which is a massive, massive thing. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, bottom right hand corner, click the subscribe button, then click the bell to get your notifications for every time we go live. But what concerns me the most is this quote that I wanted to bring in. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when we lost 4-0 to Everton, some of you will know half the quote. You won't know all of it, word for word, because I had to go and get it back. So Manchester United, Everton, 4-0 away, basically blew top 6. Well, we didn't blew that because we finished 6th. We basically blew top 4 that day. We lose 4-0, absolutely embarrassment, shower of shit performance from United. At the end of it, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes out and says, I'm going to be successful. Some of these players won't be here to be part of that. Right, okay, that statement, after a terrible performance from Manchester United, made us sympathetic to Solskjaer and made us think, oh, he ain't going to mess about. He's going to be ruthless, right? Can I just read you out the team for that day? So, some of these players will not be part of my new journey, right? Really pissed off after the 4-0 result. De Gea in goal. Victor Lindelof, Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, Diego Dalot. They're all still going to be here. They're going on the tour. Pogba, Matic and Fred, all going on the tour unless Pogba forces a move. Rashford, Lukaku, Martial, all going on the tour unless Inter pay good money for Inter Milan, for Romelu Lukaku. Substitutes who came on, Andreas Pereira, we're about to give him a new contract. Ashley Young, we gave him a new contract. Scott McTominay, one of Ollie's best players. So every single player that played a part in that game is going on the tour and is going to be here. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's quote of I'm going to be successful and some of those players are not going to be part of the journey. Well, no, you're wrong then, aren't you? That wasn't the truth. Why has he changed his mind, or is he not getting the backing from the board to remove some of those players? Because every single one of those players, apart from maybe Lukaku, and that's because we're going to get good money for him, they're all here. Every single one of those players are all still here. The Deadwood is still here. I'm going to be successful, but some of those players that played today, they're not going to be part of the journey. 3 months later, summer goes. Are we meant to forget that statement? Are we meant to forget that bunch of players did that against Everton? Because they're all still on the plane. And this is where I'm getting a little bit confused, is the Deadwood yet again. I know next season at some point we will drop points, and the same arguments we've had last year, the year before, the year before, and the year before that. We don't get rid of the Deadwood. And we've not done it again. We've not done it again. And, you know, there's promising things on the people coming into the club, but if you retain the Deadwood, it will rot it. It's rotten. And we have retained the Deadwood again. I can't, you know, Darmian's going to go. He didn't play against Everton. I don't think he was even on the bench. Neither was Rojo. Like, you know, it's like we are not removing the Deadwood. And people think that Darmian and Rojo are Deadwood, but they're not. They weren't even part of the team that last year. They were hardly played at all. The Deadwood is the shit in the team that was playing, contributing to mistakes and poor football. And they're all still going to be here. Pogba swap for Bale and Kroos solves our shortage in right wing and CDM, wouldn't it? Says Sagar Hegg. Yeah, but Kroos has just signed a new contract. That's not going to happen. Welcome to Aidan Gorno. And that brings me back to something. The abuse... Hold on. The United to win the league, says Macaulay Palat TV. Well, we'd all like that. Thanks for the contribution from Craig Irwin. And we've got a new member, which is Timo Scudder. Welcome to the channel, pal. I'm just going to go and find that live super chat there because it was a really, really good one. But as I mentioned there, Andreas Pereira is apparently going to be given a new contract at Manchester United. What are your thoughts on that? Are you happy with that? For me, I don't see how he's deserved a new contract again. You know, it's like we're handing contracts out to players. And Andreas Pereira is only, what, 21, 22, 23? Has he done enough to earn a new contract? No. You know, what people do in training, it's all brilliant, isn't it? But the reality is, I don't see, you know, Andreas Pereira, I think from what I've seen of Andreas Pereira, and everybody will know this, I absolutely thought Andreas Pereira was going to be as good as James Rodriguez. There are videos of me out there saying that, but over the last couple of years, and I think Mourinho had a big part to play in it, but over the last couple of years, he's just not kicked on at all. And giving Andreas Pereira a new contract, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not necessarily saying that Andreas Pereira's deadwood. The deadwood is Ashley Young and Phil Jones and Matic and people like that. But giving Andreas Pereira a new contract, again, it just takes up a spot in the squad. Instead of moving a player on like that, or a Mata, it takes up a squad. And that's what United like to do. Fill up places in the squad with averageness, really, with cheap averageness. And Andreas Pereira, to me, I'd love Andreas Pereira to fulfil his talent because he's got a talent, but how confident am I that he will do? Not even 50-50, to be honest with you. I think there's only a 30% chance that he'll get anywhere near where I think he should have done. The abuse from United fans towards Herrera is beyond me, says Yassar Sad. What came first, the chicken or the egg, says Macaulay Pallet TV. Don't know, don't care. Let's just say the egg. But you know what? With regards to that comment about Ander Herrera, I'm very, very glad that somebody said that because I don't get it. I don't get it. Again, I suppose this is modern football phenomenon, isn't it? You know, you can't you can't look at something objectively and just move on. People have to be the extreme. Like, what has Ander Herrera done to Manchester United? I read an article today that a very big United aggregator on Twitter put out and quoted, and I thought, you know what, either you're a fucking idiot or you just don't care about what you put out there. Because basically, and I don't know where it was coming from, it might have been, I think off the top of my head, I don't want to say because I don't know, because it'd be unfair on that outlet, but basically it was along the lines of Ander Herrera turned down £350,000 a week. What a crock of shit. Like, really, what a load of nonsense. And that's out there now from a massive United account on Twitter. They've quoted it, they've put it out, and the hate that Herrera's getting underneath it. There is no way on this earth that Ander Herrera was wanted £350,000. Absolutely no way on earth. And he will not be getting anywhere near that at PSG. The reason Ander Herrera probably left Manchester United was because PSG have given him a 5-year contract. He's 30 in August, and they're probably going to pay him 200 grand a week because they don't have to pay him for his transfer fee, which is a very attractive thing. What I heard from United, and I'm not going to say it's gospel, I've heard two things. I heard that they didn't really offer him much more than what he was on already, which was about £80,000 a year. And I also heard that Herrera wanted £200,000 a week because that's what PSG were offering him, and United said no. But £350,000 a week, come on, wake up and smell the coffee. And to be honest with you, why are people hating on Ander Herrera? Like, United did what they did with Fellaini, what they did with Mata, what they did with Jones, what they did with Smalling, what they did with Pereira, what they did with Young, what they're doing with De Gea. They let everybody's contracts run down. And I've been on about this for a long time. I don't like the strategy that Manchester United have. They let contracts run down. And when the contract runs down and you hit January and PSG ring Ander Herrera up and they say, we're going to offer you a large amount of money, then that's what happens. He basically was in a situation where PSG said, we'll give you a 5-year contract and 200 grand a week. And you've got United going, we'll give you 2 years and 150. Well, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? It's an absolute no-brainer. United put Herrera in a position where he had this great offer and a not-so-good offer. And that's what happened. Fian McCabe says, Mark, if we do get Bruno, Longstaff, Maguire and we get Bale in on loan for a year and get Sancho next year, Ed hasn't done too bad this year in transfers, says Fion. Well, exactly. And we must judge the transfer window on August the 8th. I totally agree with you on that one. Carl Hagan, I've lost your super chat now, which is bloody great. Ben S says, Mark, I know this is not relevant, but I've got to walk 100 miles in 48 hours tomorrow, and your good wishes would really help calm these nerves, mate. Well, 100 miles in 48 hours. For one, why are you doing it, Ben? If we move this way, we will only remain in history, says Pemba Shaba. But good luck, Ben. I really, really do wish you good luck. And that's a hell of a feat. I presume you're doing it for charity. Smash your link in the video description, and I'll have a look at it, and maybe a few others will as well, and help you out if it is a sponsored thing. Carl Hagen says, Mark, I think we will get Maguire, but I also think Axel will be rotated in the squad to build experience. Give him 2 years, and he'll be something special. If we get the Harry Maguire deal done, I personally would put Axel Twansibi back to Villa because he'll play every week. At United, I don't think he's going to play every week. The Red Men Gaming 12 says, would you take Matip or Gomez at United? Liverpool fan. No and no. No. Gomez is a very good player, but I don't want Liverpool players. I'm old school on that. I just don't. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. And that reminds me, actually, YouTube's gone through a change. Like we did a video the other day at 11:30 and hardly anybody was watching because they didn't get notifications. So YouTube has changed the notification thing on subscription. So whether you're subscribed or you're not, when you click the subscribe button, there is a bell. Click the bell and you'll get all notifications. However, if you're doing it on your phone, you will when you click the bell, whether you're subscribed or not, click the bell and you can have all notifications, some notifications. So just double check what notifications you're getting, because if you're not getting all notifications, you won't get a notification when we go live. Also, when you're on your phone, I didn't realize this, if you're on Android or iPhone, if you go into your phone settings and go into apps and you go to YouTube, there is a little slider that turns notifications off. They were off on my phone. If you turn that on, that might be why you're not getting your notifications as well. So subscribe, bell, all notifications, and go into your apps, settings, slide to notifications. That might help a few people who've not been getting their notifications. MGT, hey Mark, my granddad passed away this week, big United fan, and when I showed him you, he said you spoke real sense. Thanks Mark for the hard work. You know what, that touches me, that does, in a nice way, because my granddad's the reason I support Manchester United, and he's been gone for a few years now, but granddads are important, aren't they? Especially when they support the team that you support, and especially when they support United. So look, I always get my wording wrong here and say commiserations like you've lost a quiz, but what I mean is, my thoughts and prayers are with you, and it's very, very sad, mate, and I remember what it was like when I lost my granddad. And as I said on Twitter the other day, grief is a funny thing. You never come to terms with it. You just become used to carrying it. That's what grief is. It never goes away. You just get used to the weight. But sometimes that weight, even 2 years down, that weight, I sometimes feel that weight. I can't carry it some days. It's hard. Adash Sangai says, hey Mark, do you think Icardi to Juve will slow Inter to have funds for the Lukaku deal? And how possible do you think Pogba leaving is? Tomorrow morning on Transfer Daily, we've got a bit of a discussion about Pogba, which I'm working on. I've not finished it yet, so I'll leave that for then. But regards to Icardi to Juventus, I don't even know if that... Look, I'm worried about Lukaku and Inter. If I'm totally honest with you. But we'll have to see what happens with that. I think there's a couple of things I'm also worried about. I think we've got too many centre-backs. I think we touched on this a bit last night. We've got too many centre-backs. We've got Lindelof, Jones, Smalling, Rojo, Bailly, and now Twansibi. We've got 6 centre-backs, and we're going to sign Harry Maguire. 7 centre-backs. Something's got to go there. Somebody's got to go there. I mean, Eric Bailly's been doing a lot of training over the summer, but we need to get rid of 2 of those. And what cannot happen, I said this on the Harry Maguire video this afternoon, we cannot not sign a centre-back and go, let's give this lot a chance again. It goes back to that quote from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after the Everton game, when he said, I'm going to be successful, but some of these players aren't going to be part of that journey. He knew after that Everton game what we know now. That team is not good enough. And he knew it after the Everton game. So if he changes his mind over the summer, for whatever reason, and it will probably be the same reason that hit Mourinho last year, we haven't got the money, he's screwed. He knows that team's not good enough. We know that team's not good enough. And if he doesn't bring a centre-back in and tries to go through this season with the same set of centre-backs, I'm not naming names, we will fail. He knows it. He's got to be ruthless. He's got to get rid of some of them centre-backs to bring in the centre-back that we need to bring in. With regards to Alexis Sanchez, look, some people wanted to say Alexis Sanchez is back, give him another chance because he scored a couple of goals for in the Copa America. They got knocked out 3-0 by Peru last night. Alexis Sanchez isn't back. The only place Alexis Sanchez belongs is the MLS or the Chinese league. That's his level. He is not a player for Manchester United. I think he will be next year, but he shouldn't be. And he's a very expensive 400 grand a week player. We need to get him out. I think whatever he does on the pitch, I think what he does off the pitch, inadvertently because of his wage, I think he's a negative, toxic influence at Manchester United, and they need to remove him. And also, you cannot have a scenario where your best paid player, your star player, is struggling to even make the bench. It undermines everything you're trying to do as a manager. And Ollie needs to be ruthless, and he needs to say to Ed Woodward or whoever, get rid of him. I don't care if we're still paying his wages. Just get rid of him. Get him out. I don't want him at the training ground. I don't want to have to put him on the bench. I can't use him. So if he's here, we're paying him. So we may as well pay him just not to be here. I would rather do that. You don't lose from that situation. Whether he's at Old Trafford or whether he's on loan at bloody Inter Milan, we're still paying him 400 grand a week. But it'll be a far better United side if he's in Milan than if he is in the Old Trafford. I would do that if I was United, and we can probably get somebody to pay half his wages anyway. So yeah, I think Alexis Sanchez is potentially an issue as well. Leon Bailey is an option for right wing. Mark says Anurag Dutta. He's always been an option. We haven't played him. Great work, Mark. Have a deluxe beverage on me. Thanks for the contribution. PT Physio 05. Hey Mark, the audio is so low. Please can you check it? Let's have a look. Has it always been low? Hey, it shouldn't be low. I don't know what's gone wrong there then. It shouldn't be low. It shouldn't be low. I think there's a few people struggling with the volume, but actually a lot of people are absolutely fine with it. So I don't know what that is. My settings are absolutely fine. And John McCready says it's fine as well. Turn yours up. If that was a blag, it's one of the worst jokes ever. Nobody found that funny. Welcome to Johan Larker, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Hilmarsh says the audio is always low. We'll turn it up. Sanchez is the same hassle as Fellaini, says Robert Davies. And Bruno Fernandes or Tillemans, says Commando Ninja. 100% Bruno Fernandes as far as I'm concerned. And Mark, if Lukaku does stay, do you think we should still get Ben Yedder? The way it could... Well, look, I can answer that question very, very quickly. We're not going to get Ben Yedder if Lukaku doesn't go. My feeling is that even if Lukaku goes, we might not replace him anyway. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling about that. There were times when a United contract was well earned. This Manchester United and the current United contract situation is a joke. Rashford and now Herrera, says Naveen John. Yeah, I think that we do add we do hand out contracts too easily now. Pereira's got 1 year left on his contract, so they're obviously thinking, well, he's going to go for free next summer. But I mean, look, is he going to go? He's not going to go. How much is somebody going to pay for Andreas Pereira if we sold him this summer? He's not. I don't think he'd get 20 million for him. So, Aaron Mork Maloney says, I recently subscribed to your channel and I already love your videos. Notifications are on and I'm excited for your next videos. Lots of love from Norway. Well, yes, subscribe, bottom right hand corner. But for those who are new, we're live every night at 8 o'clock. Every morning, 7 a.m. UK time, you get your transfer daily, Monday to Friday. And obviously, if there's any breaking news during the day, we go live, like I did this afternoon about Harry Maguire. Do watch that video after this if you've not seen it, because I've been told that Harry Maguire is coming to Manchester United, and that's what that video is all about, so you can get all the detail there. Daniel Plunkett says, Mark, could we be telling Leicester we want Maguire to keep options open, similar to the way we strung Morata along while we were signing Lukaku? Daniel, I said that on the video this afternoon. You're spot on. Manchester United could switch. Harry Maguire is what Solskjaer wants. Manchester United have bid 70 million for Harry Maguire. It's been rejected. That is the factual situation at the moment. United can either walk away or move the deal up. I've been told 75 million is a United player. So let's see what happens next with that. I've also been told by somebody else today, and I don't know whether this is true, that Manchester City have got no intention of going for Harry Maguire, that they're only in it to push the price up for United, and they're really after Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. Now, to me, that sounds believable, but we'll know whether that's correct or not, because we'll see whether Nathan Ake goes to Man City, won't we? But it makes a lot of sense, because Nathan Ake's a good centre-back. He wouldn't cost loads of money. He can play out from the back, and he would probably suit Manchester City quite well. So we'll see what happens with that one. Okay. We've got a comment here from Aidan Gorney, who's one of our members. He says, we've got to be mad to pay 75 million for Harry Maguire. He's so overrated and overhyped because he's English. Surely if we're selling Pogba, we can chip in an extra 25 million and buy Koulibaly. Aidan, thank you. We finally read a comment from somebody who doesn't want Harry Maguire, who's explained it because he's overrated. I don't think he's overrated. He's England's best centre-back. He is the best England centre-back. Ask Gareth Southgate who his number one centre-back is. It's Harry Maguire. He's dominant in the air. He's a leader. He reads the ball, reads the game really well. He's good on the ball. He's a bit slow, but loads of decent centre-backs have been a bit slow. He's not overrated. He's a very good centre-back. Can he play for a top 4 side? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. But I don't think he's overrated. I think he's a very, very good centre-back. And the reason he's 75 million, Vazadov Sarawat says 75 to 80 million for Maguire, why not pay 100 for Koulibaly? Well, I agree with that, but the reason he's 75 to 80 million is because Leicester are on firm ground. He's English, which adds 20 million on. He's in his prime, which adds a bit of money on. He's at the same sort of club that Van Dijk was, who left 18 months ago for 75 million. 75 million, whether you like it or not, the evidence is there as to why Leicester want it. SRV, why are any Premier League clubs spending big on defence? I don't know. But remember, the Premier League is the best league in the world. It's proven. 2 teams in the Champions League final, 2 teams in the Europa League final. This is the best league in the world, which is why Real Madrid are trying to come back. And I think Real Madrid will win the Champions League next year, which would actually be technically 4 years in a row for Zidane, because he missed last year, didn't he? Recap. Bruno Fernandes, who's just come up on the screen there. So we're looking at a Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire double swoop. I did the video this afternoon on Harry Maguire, so you can get all the detail on that there. But I believe United will sign Harry Maguire. Bruno Fernandes, I believe we're going to sign him as well. But the latest with him is that Manchester United, there's numerous Portuguese sources here, so I'm not going to go individually through them. One source is saying that Bruno Fernandes is overawed by the offer that United have given him, and he's very happy with it. But no bid has been made with Sporting Lisbon, who want 60 million euro. United don't want to go anywhere near that, even though I think he is worth that, because, and I think this is what's happening, there is a silly clause with Bruno Fernandes whereby if somebody offers more than 35 million euros and Sporting Lisbon reject it, they have to pay £5 million to Bruno Fernandes. On top of that, another Portuguese outlet is saying not only do they have to pay £5 million if they reject it, they have to give him a 5-year contract and double his wages. So Sporting Lisbon, if that is true, are in a very, very, very difficult position. I think Bruno Fernandes is worth 60 million easy, but if that contract's correct, United would be stupid to pay 60 million because they can get him for a lot cheaper. What they've got to do is gauge what Sporting Lisbon will reject and what they will take. I don't think Sporting Lisbon can afford to double his wages and give him a 5-year contract. So United might be able to get him for like as little as 50 million euro. We'll have to wait and see on that. And then we were talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's famous statement after the 4-0 loss to Everton, where he said, I'm going to be successful. Some of those players won't be part of the journey. And yet every single one of those players is going to be on the tour, and a lot of them have had new contracts. So I don't know what that was all about. Where's the ruthlessness? The deadwood is still here. We talk about transfers, but what's going on? What's going on out the door? Nothing. Nobody's left the club yet, apart from Herrera and Valencia, who we knew were going to go, and we wanted to keep one of those players, but he was out of contract because we let it down. The deadwood is still here, and nothing's been done about it. Okay, right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play you a little bit of clip, and then I'm going to give you a bit of news, and this was why I was a little bit late.
They don't know about this guy.
What the hell?
Show me something.
What was that? Is that where more players in?
I'm calling you out.
Things you do for the team, mate.
Little bit of a promo there for the United Stand FC. Blood Brothers Season 2 is coming up very soon. We're going to be involved in that. Goldbridge at the wheel, the manager. I am being ruthless when I can get my players there. The reason we played that for you is to get you in the mood, but also we have got a game on Saturday. Saturday, 1 o'clock kickoff. The details are in the video description, which was why I was a little bit late. We are starting to get a bit of a United Stand Barmy Army at games now. So if you want to come down on Saturday and watch us play, it's quite a decent ground we're at on Saturday. It's the Middlesex football ground in Ruislip. So if you want to come down, 1 PM kickoff in Middlesex. on Saturday. United Stand are playing a match and one of our pre-season games as we build towards the league. And obviously if you want to get your United Stand gear, like the polo shirt I was wearing earlier, or United Stand FC tops, they're in the video description as well. But yeah, come down, you know, get your pictures, your autographs, whatever. I mean, look, that sort of stuff just embarrasses me a little bit, but do come down. We're trying to start to build our team and a bit of an audience as well. Chris Deadfield says it's cringe. Just don't watch it then, Chris. You know, this is the wonder about YouTube. You don't have to watch it. Surely the cringe is you, because you're watching our great community putting negativity in there. But, you know, isn't Love Island on or something like that you could go and watch? But you're watching us on YouTube, so surely you're the cringy one. Mark, there's a player called Husman Aouar. He's at Lyon and he'd be perfect fit in the midfield. He could be a perfect fit in with Bruno and Paul, says Fionn McCabe. Lyon are not going to sell any more players though, Fionn. It's like Moussa Dembele, who we talked about last night. He won't be sold. They've sold their 3 players. The left back's gone, Mendy. Their Dembele's gone, and Fekir's going to go. They won't sell any more players. Do we need a replacement for Lukaku? What's the point of our academy, Greenwood, says Yasser Assad. I don't think we will replace Lukaku. I don't think that we will. And Aaron Mork Maloney says, I recently subscribed to your channel. I already love your videos. Notifications are on. I'm already excited for your next videos. Lots of love from Norway. You already did that. Why did that come up again? What was that? I better not be in goal on Saturday. I think I've got a goalkeeper, but I better not be in goal on Saturday. But come down if you want to. Thanks everybody for watching. Please do smash a like on the video. Remember, we're live every night at 8 o'clock, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning with Transfer Daily. Unless something happens tonight, we might go live again. So make sure you've subscribed, bottom right hand corner. Click your bell and get your notifications on. And I shall see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. if I don't see you before. Thanks everybody. Fast-paced show again. Really, really enjoyed it. And look, we're going on tour on Sunday. United play their first game a week on Saturday. Come on, let's get a couple of these signings done. Come on, Woodward, do your thing. Will any United Stand games be in the West Country, says Henry Ellis. I'm sure they will do. We're just taking opposition at the moment. And, London's a big place, so there's a lot of teams there. But we'll play anybody. So, yeah, I'm sure we can get one over there as well. Speak to you all soon. Thank you very much. Fantastic in the comments. I'll see you soon.